This hour, a court has dismissed former President Trump's lawsuit to keep his tax records from going to the House of Representatives. For more on this, we are joined by NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams. Pete.
So this is a decision from a federal district court judge here in Washington, Trevor McFadden. This is over the long-running fight between Donald Trump and what was originally the Treasury Department, and later it changed its mind, about a request from the House Ways and Means Committee to get the president's taxes. Now, the committee's stated reason for wanting the taxes was to see how the IRS was auditing the taxes of presidents, because the IRS said it had a program to automatically do it so that no poor IRS person would have to make the decision about whether the president's taxes were going to be audited or not. And the committee said they wanted to look at that, his taxes, to see whether that was actually working or not. Mr. Trump and his lawyers consistently said this is just an attempt to embarrass the president. It was a political fishing expedition, and that the Democrats had said from almost the day he was elected that they wanted to see his taxes. Well, today, the judge has thrown the lawsuit out, citing a statute, a law passed by Congress, that says when any of the three tax writing committees in Congress want to see any individual's tax returns, the Treasury Department must turn them over. And quoting from the decision here, Judge McFadden says a long line of Supreme Court cases requires great deference to facially valid congressional inquiries. Even the special solicitude accorded to former presidents does not alter that outcome. And there's an interesting thing at the very end of the ruling here. The judge says that if the committee is serious about what it said, that its real motive here is indeed to better understand the IRS's program for auditing presidential tax returns, then the committee can do this without publishing Mr. Trump's returns, without making them public. He says public disclosure of another's tax returns is a grave offense, and prior committee chairmen have widely resisted using this statute to publicize individuals' returns. Anyone, he says, can see that publishing confidential tax information of a political rival is the type of move that will return to plague the inventor. But then he says this at the end: it might not be right or wise to do so, but it is the chairman's right to do so. Congress has granted him this extraordinary power, and the courts are loath to second-guess congressional motives or duly enacted statutes. So he says, case dismissed. Now, obviously, Mr. Trump's lawyers will appeal this. They have tried everything in their power to try to restrict the publication or the turning over of his tax returns. The only failure they've had so far, other than before this case, was that the tax returns were given to a grand jury in New York, a state grand jury that was investigating the company's finances. So this is another loss for Mr. Trump, undoubtedly going to lead to an appeal.